Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Forza Sim Racing on YouTube, and today we are, well, if you've read the title of the video, we are going to be looking at Automobilista 2 in VR mode, and it's quite simple. This is what I believe to be the best race series on Automobilista 2, and I'm just going to sort of just touch on why I believe that it is. So what you've got today is Brands Hatch, the Indy circuit. Now, to be fair, you could have the Grand Prix circuit and it's still just as good, but I just wanted to have this really sort of close competition in the race. And if you know Brands Hatch, you'll know it's very, very quick. It's over with very quickly. It's depending on the race formula, the lap time is like literally half a minute, 40 seconds. And so I just wanted something that's, you know, like a go-kart track, and that's what Brands Hatch Indy does. And the cars in particular are P4 open wheeler type, so something sort of Le Mans based, but they're just not on the same level. So they're classed as P4, not P1, which is your Le Mans style cars. And the reason that I picked these is because certainly in VR mode, and I don't know about, you know, the normal driving aspect of it, but you just cannot, I don't believe anyway, you cannot beat the car and track combination. These are so much fun to drive, and I've gone for a 10-minute race, and the P4 just reacts how you want it to. There's no oversteer, there is no understeer. The car does get a tiny bit twitchy, but this car is excellent to handle. You can bring it back from, you know, when you're on sort of a big massive tank slapper, and it just points where it wants to go. And for me, there's no issues with the car at all, and I'm so happy that I can drive something like this and have so much fun in VR mode in Automobilista 2 with this type of car. You know, don't get me wrong, the liveries are pretty bland, and in fact I think the one that I'm driving, which has got the Motul oil logo on it, is pretty much, I think, the only form of sponsorship on these cars. Everything else is still very plain Jane, so to speak. Hopefully that is all going to change at some point. But there's two types of P4s that you can drive. So there's this one that I'm using, and there's the one that you can just see ahead that's got a lot higher wing, and I can't actually remember what engine they use or anything like that, but actually maybe the one just ahead of us is actually slightly quicker than I am. But yeah, you just can't get enough of this car, and I just really wanted to emphasize that in a video to you, that if you've got Automobilista 2, try this out, Brands Hatch P4, and if you haven't got Automobilista 2, give this a shot. Now, I appreciate the game's still not exactly cheap, and you know, you could argue, well, every day there's an argument about which game is the best sim racing and everything, but if you just want a really, really decent sim racing game where the AI are not, you know, all over the place, you know, you just come to a track and you just have this really close competition where you can't really afford to make any mistakes, but at the same time you just keep on it. This, as you can see, is just the best. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave you with a couple of laps, just so you can also hear the sound and just hear what the car's doing, and I'll come back to you. see that I've actually created 2 weather slots. One was the first, the dry, and the second is basically rain. Now, I didn't know that it was going to rain, and secondly, I didn't know on the strength of the rain either. So you can see that it's not, unfortunately, a dry track. We are going to have to come in for some intermediate tyres, which in this game it's automatically selected, so I don't have to, fiddle around with it. I know that when I come in, the mechanics are going to put on a set of rain tyres or intermediates, and I think intermediates is the way to go for the amount of rain that we've got. You can see there's a bit of sort of wind in the air and it's blowing the rain forward. Unfortunately, we're stuck in the pits and we had too much traffic, and that's held us up. That was not the best pit stop in the world, and now we're going to experience a completely different level of racing, whereby actually it's the first time I've sort of driven again in this car in the wet. And you know that Automobilista used the same sort of engine as Project Cars, so we have this sort of ever-changing track conditions. We've got standing waters in various parts, and in VR mode we've got all this rain now coming towards us straight into our face, really sort of struggling at times to see where the apexes are, but in the slower corners like now where you sort of get to the rain coming off the car is a bit slower, but as the speed builds up and the amount of water coming off the back of the cars, we sort of really start to struggle again where our braking points are. But also at the same time, now we've got to work out, is it going to get heavier? Is it going to start drying? But we don't have that much long left of the race, so my plan was to stick basically onto these set of tyres, see what we can do, see if any of the AIs are going to sort of make some mistakes at some point, and we can utilise that. You see, it appears we're a bit quicker in the wet, and we're certainly all over this car ahead of us, trying to work out where we're going to pass it. But actually we've got 3 cars ahead, but they're really bunching up now. And my main issue with this car, we've got someone going off, there we go. So an AI has made mistakes, they've run wide out of clearways, and we've utilised that. That was great timing. These two might actually hold me up to the point of I might be able to see what we can do. But yeah, the issue I got with this particular car is certainly out of clearways, acceleration is not as good as the others, and we seem to make it a bit more up on the straight line speed, but certainly in braking you can see. Trying to work out, the AI's now cut that corner a bit, we might be able to get alongside him and past him. Are we going to do that? We're just running a tiny bit wide, but we're going to have the inside corner now, so I think we've managed to clear another car. But you can ever so slightly see this kind of small drying line. It's still not enough, we're still getting a lot of rain coming off the tyres, so I don't think we're going to have this problem of overheating of tyres or anything like that. But certainly I think it's going to pay to try and stick onto the racing line where the most amount of grip's going to be. But we look for the inside at Druids, and we've taken that place, so yeah, we're proper on it for speed now. In the wet this car just handles so much better, and we don't have a huge amount of time left, that's for sure. We've got someone ahead, and I don't know how much more we're going to be able to close on him before the end. In fact, because I can't see in VR whether he is actually a back marker or someone I've got to race, so all I can do is just go for it, and I don't have the HUD set up in my VR to see who I'm racing against, so they're certainly a bit spread out. I didn't think I was that low down the track. I mean, you look, you've got 3 ahead, and that was quite easy to pass that one, so maybe that was a back marker. But we're going again into Druids. We don't have a mass amount of time left, maybe only a couple of more laps. You can also see the nice little detail. I think we partly touched the back of that car, very slow out of Druids there. When you look to the right of the car, you see it's built up some nice amount of dirt on the bodywork as well. We zoomed down the inside of the yellow car there, and now we're going to even take another car on the inside out of clearways onto the straight. We're almost going to clear this next one even before the checkered flag, and that is it. That is the end. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.